Oh, what up? How you guys doing out there today? This is your boy Roto Beast. I'm here to present you my NBA morning shoot around for Wednesday, December 4th. If you're new to this channel, please make sure and click the subscribe button below. This way you can watch all my NBA, NFL, and MLB videos. If you haven't come and checked out our website here at dfscheatsheet.com, you're absolutely missing out. We have all the tools to help you compete with the pros day in and day out, including a complete optimizer, tons of content, daily Fanduel and Draftkings cash signups. Hey, we're truly a one-stop shop for our DFS needs. So make sure to come check out the site here at dfscheatsheet.com. So we got a solid 10-game slate today. Some pretty fun games on this slate to watch. Definitely some bunch of fantasy relevant players on this slate. So yeah, man, I'm ready to jump into it real quick. Before we do though, if you guys don't mind, please take that quick second, click the like button down below. Helps me out. Really appreciate that from you guys. And yeah, let's go. So we'll start at point guard. We'll work our way through. As always, I've been doing this video kind of giving you my top 5 or 6 plays at each position to kind of help you get started, building your player pool. Also, that's something that you can definitely do on our optimizer. Go through each position, pick 5 or 6 guys, build your own player pool by simply clicking the lock button right here. And boom, man, you can run 150 lineup just with your players that you want locked in. You can build that way. It's a really, really smart way to do it. Definitely if you spend a ton of research like we do day in and day out. So yeah, man, we'll start at point guard. At first, you got to start with Luka Doncic. The guy's giving you triple double upside every single night, giving you a monster floor for your cash game. Definitely giving you a ceiling. The ceiling isn't crazy high at a 12.5 price tag because just for value, you need almost 63. But I definitely still think he is giving you the ceiling. And for your cash games, like I said, the floor is there. He's the Westbrook of the past couple of years this year, Luka Doncic. So definitely in play. Trey Young going against Brooklyn. This should be a very up-tempo game, back and forth, up and down the floor. I like Trey Young in this spot, man. The young guy's been playing very well, proving the doubters wrong, and hey, man, he's balling out, having a really breakout season in his sophomore season. Definitely think that we can look at him at 10.3. He's giving you a pretty good floor as well, definitely giving you some upside. Then we'll go on the flip side of things. Spencer Dinwiddie in that starting role going against Trey Young, who doesn't play any defense. Spencer Dinwiddie has definitely took a step forward and has definitely been playing very, very well with all the injuries out here in Brooklyn. Playing the minutes, has the ball in his hand a ton. Dinwiddie and Kimba and Trey Young, I think, are definitely going to go at each other, and I like both of those guys today. Moving down, let's save a little bit of money. First, we'll go with Kendrick Nunn against Boston. The guy continues to continue to get 30-plus minutes a game. And he plays well, man. He does a little bit of everything, so I think he gives you a decent floor. At 4,800, all you need is 24 for value. So I definitely think that Kendrick Nunn is a guy that we can really look at today, kind of in the mid-tier. And then another guy in the same area, Tyus Jones at 4,600. The minutes are trending up a little bit for him. We got to project a little bit lower than I would like today, but I think that, in an up-tempo game going against Chicago, I definitely think he can outperform kind of what we got him projected at 19 points right now. I say he'll get you right around 25, 26 fantasy points, get you 5 or 6X on this price tag, and you'll really take that. So he's a guy that you can look to pay down for as well. Moving on to the shooting guard spot, I like a couple of these guys at the top. I like Donovan Mitchell against the Lakers, 8,000. We got him projected for 46 fantasy points, almost 6X tonight. This should be a very competitive game, up-tempo game against the Lakers. Back and forth, run and gun. Great for Donovan Mitchell's style of play. He is a GPP play for me, but I think that you could really look at him at 8,000. He's a good play. Jimmy Butler going against Boston. He's the best player on this team. The usage is pretty crazy for him. 8,600 is a very fair price for a best player on a team that gets a ton of usage. I think that he's a guy, GPP play, but he's a guy that we can look at. Same thing for Zach LaVine. 8,500 going against a young Memphis team. He's definitely playing very, very well. I like him, man. He's a guy that we can really look at today. For me, in all honesty, Mitchell, Butler, LaVine, they're all more GPP plays just because their price tags are a little bit higher than I would personally like. But I think that they are all in play, definitely. Bojan Bogdanovic, he's a game time decision we got to wait on this. But if he does end up playing at 5,700, going against a Portland team who's on the second end of a back-to-back, I think Bogey is definitely looking good right here. He's definitely been filling up the stat sheet and excelling with no De'Aaron Fox in the lineup. So he'll be a good play right there for sure. Lastly, DeAndre Bembry, he stepped in that starting role. This guy, when he gets minutes, he gets production. He fills up the stat sheet. 4,700 against Brooklyn if he's going to be in that starting lineup. He's an easy play as your start shooting guard too. Just kind of move on. So, yeah, I think that Bembry is in a really good spot here to crush. Next, we'll go to small forward. You got Antetokounmpo, you got LeBron James. You can pay up for either one of them, and I wouldn't be mad at you. Antetokounmpo, obviously, I think he gives you a little bit better floor than LeBron just because, the ball runs through his hands so much. LeBron, on the flip side, yes, he has the ball a ton also, but he also has Anthony Davis, another really good player. So when it comes to crunch time, they kind of split it. LeBron, Anthony Davis. And with Giannis, when it matters, the ball's going to be in his hand. So at 1,400, you're really just buying a higher floor. The ceiling, for the most part, is the same, though. I think Giannis may give you a tiny bit higher ceiling. Nonetheless, I won't blame you if you go with Giannis. If you go with LeBron in a competitive game against Utah, I wouldn't be mad at you there neither. I think he still gives you a pretty solid floor of right around 50. Then we'll go down a little bit. I like Kelly Oubre. I think Kelly Oubre is in a really good spot here against Orlando. I think this game is going to be a very fast-paced, up-and-down game. Kelly Oubre is having a really good season. We got him projected right around 5x. I'm liking that, and he does have some upside. He got 40 fantasy point upside for you here. So good play right here in Kelly Oubre. Jonathan Isaac on the flip side. I like this Orlando Phoenix game. I think it should be a track meet, up and down game. Jonathan Isaac is a GPP play for me just because he doesn't get as much minutes as I would like. But the production has been there when he does play. I think he does give you a floor of, I would say, probably right around 34, 35. What you take on this price tag, I think it's pretty fair. So, yeah, Isaac is another solid play. Going to the mid-tier a little bit, Jamison Crowder, we got a projected for 33 minutes today. Got a projected just a little bit over 5x. I think that it's a good spot right here for Crowder in an up-tempo game against Chicago. We know Crowder can definitely get hot as well, fill up the stat sheet a little bit and hit some threes. Good spot right here, like I said, against Chicago. And Crowder, solid play. Moving on to power forward, Domantas Sabonis going against the Jazz. I think this is a spot for Anthony Davis. Man, they talk about the guy was sick yesterday, still goes out, puts up 25 and 10. The floor for Anthony Davis at only a 10.8 price tag is just ridiculous. I really like him at this price tag. I think he's in a great spot here against Utah. It's going to be Howard. It's going to be McGee going against Gobert. He's not going to have to worry about that. Anthony Davis is going to get some free run. Solid spot right here for Anthony Davis. And it's just a dirt cheap price tag at 10.8. I love the price on Anthony Davis. Sabonis going against OKC. Sabonis, man, he's always been a guy that definitely filled up the stat sheet and can really fill it up quickly. It was all about minutes with him last year. This year, stepped into the starting role. He's really excelling, playing a ton of minutes, giving you a floor of right around 40. So I like him, man. I think he's in a good spot. I'll clump the next. I'll clump the next three guys up. I like three of these guys in a row. Bam and Jason Tatum going against each other. I think they both give you really solid floors. Both GPP plays, but I do like both of them. Also, Porzingis going against Minnesota at 8,000. I feel like this is a really good spot for Porzingis as well. I like these four guys that you can pay up for here. I like Anthony Davis, but I also do got some guys that you can pay down for as well. I'm not just going to give you the highest priced guys. Moving down a little bit, I like Jabari Parker at 7,000. Against Brooklyn, I think this is a really good spot for him to definitely light it up, and I think he can get you 6x in this spot. And then we'll go to some value, man. You got Kaminsky, 4,300. If he's going to get the start once again today, you just put him in. Great value play. Move on with your day. We got to project it at almost 7x today. So just pay attention and make sure he's in that starting lineup. But if he is, great spot for Kaminsky. Easy play for your cash games. One more guy I'll throw out there, GPP play, but he's cheap, and I think that he's worth a flyer. We know that the Suns are down bigs right now. Check Diallo if he does play. He's a game time decision right now at a bare minimum price tag at 3,600. He's another guy I think that you could look at in GPP. Phoenix, they don't have very many bigs. And he's a guy that will get some extra runs. So make sure that he's playing, but he's a guy that you definitely could look at. Moving on to center, finish it off. Karl Anthony Towns, great spot against Dallas. I like him a lot. Andre Drummond going against Milwaukee, like him as well. I think the Towns probably a little bit more of a cash play. Drummond probably a little bit more of a GPP play. Nonetheless, I do like both of them. I think that they both are in play. Moving down a little bit, I mean, you can look at Rudy Gobert going against the Lakers. I mean, it is a little bit of a tough matchup against McGee against Howard, but the price tag is pretty low and it's a very competitive game. And he's a gamer. I think he's going to come out have a really good day. So Gobert definitely he's in a spot right here where he can have a decent day. GPP play though strictly for me. Wendell Carter Jr. for Chicago going against Memphis. I think this young guy's really starting to excel this year and show what he has, and he's coming into what Chicago thought he was going to be. He's playing very well on the season. He is a GPP play, but he's going to come in really low owned. I think he's somebody you can definitely take a flyer on. Wendell Carter. And then we'll go with a little bit of value. I think a guy that we can look at. There's a couple guys. I think that you could look at a guy like DeAndre Jordan possibly as a GPP play. You can look at Biombo if he continues to be in that starting lineup. You could consider him. But the guy that I'm intrigued by down low, I think that we can look at Bamba again at 4,500 going against Phoenix. Phoenix doesn't have any bigs, and if Bamba's going to get the run, we know Vucevic is out. Then I think that he's a guy on the lower end that we can look at. I don't know if we can play him in cash. It's something I really got to consider a little bit more, but I know he is viable on today's slate at 4,500. So that's really where I'm at. Just kind of get you guys my 5-6 plays at each position. If you want a more in-depth analysis on today's slate, make sure to check out the site, dfscheatsheet.com. And then good luck on tonight's contest tonight, all right? Peace out.